Hello. Get that out of the way. So, today we're going to be talking about integers, specifically adding integers. And in your Foldable, we have this lovely diagram under the adding tab. And we're going to be using two models. One model you have seen since you were very, very tiny, and that is the number line. The other model we are going to do is going to involve counters. So for our first problem, and of course we are discussing integers, which means positive and negative numbers that are whole numbers. In our first example, we're going to look at a very simple and basic problem, 5 plus 7. So we're going to draw our model, and in this case, we're going to do the number line. And we're going to, now we have no negative numbers here. So because we have no negative numbers, we're just going to start at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 should be plenty for what we're doing. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to start at 5. We're going to start at 5. And now I am adding, and adding means I move to the right on the number line. And I am going to go that direction 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so that puts me at 10, 11, 12 on the number line. Well, we know this is true because 5 plus 7 is most definitely 12. Now, the other option we have is to use number counters. Okay. And now number counters come in two types. They're a positive and a negative. In this problem, we only need the positive number counters. So let's go on ahead and draw this out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I add all of these up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I come up with 12 total counters. So there's my first example. Now, on example number 2, we're going to look at things a little differently. Because what's different? Well, they're both negative numbers. We have the negatives there, okay? Now, I want to look at this with my number line first, just like I did the last time. Really need to learn how to use the line tool to make these straight. Now, because both of these are negatives, I'm going to move my 0 to the other side. 0 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make that a little longer. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 should be enough. And now I made those longer so I can just come back and find them easier without having to count over again. All right. So we have negative 5. That's going to be my starting point. Negative 5. Go ahead and draw it out right there. Now, with addition, I always want to go to the right. However, this negative symbol right here also has a different meaning. Okay? Negative in mathematics is the same thing as saying opposite. So it's like opposite day at school. Okay? Instead of going to the right, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that puts me right there. And that would be negative 12. Now, I can show this with number counters. And now I'm going to use red number counters this time because red typically represents the negative. So I have 5 negatives plus 7 negatives. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if I'm counting positives, I just count them as is, and life is good. I'm counting negatives. Guess what? I'm going to count them as is, and life is good. I've got -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 counters. But what type of counters do I have? I have negative counters. So my answer is -12. Okay, so what did we notice? Let's talk about just the number 12, right? So 5 plus 7, 5 plus 7, it gave us 12 in both cases. When the signs are the same sign, and we're going to come down here and we'll add some text down here at the summary because we have a part of a rule now. Same signs, we are going to add the absolute value, which is the distance from 0. And we are going to keep the sign. Oops, let me just rewrite that from 0 and keep the sign. Okay. That's going to be our summary. Now I'm going to move it. I guess I'm going to leave it right there because it's just, we're out of room. All right. Now, what's going to happen if we do something with different signs? Let's take a look. Let's see what happens. So here in the first one, and we're going to change it up. We're not going to do the number line first. We're going to do the model with the counters first. I have -5, so I have 5 negative counters. And I'm going to add that to 7 positive counters. Now, when I add a -1 and a +1, when I put a -1 and a +1 together, what do I get? They cancel each other out, and I'm left with nothing. Adding a +1 and a -1 is the same thing as saying 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So what I can do, I'm going to take my purple because red and blue make purple. So I'm going to take my purple. I've got a negative. I've got a positive. That is an additive pair. Together they equal 0. A negative and a positive. I have another additive pair. And another additive pair. And another additive pair. My final additive pair. So when I added those two, what I actually did was I canceled out 5 of the positives, and that just left me with 2 counters. But what type of counters did it leave me? Did it leave me with positive counters or negative counters? Well, they're blue, so they're positives. So that left me with +2. Let's see if we can do this on the number line. Now, I have positive and negative numbers, so I want to put my 0 more towards the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll put our -5 here. And then we've got a +5 here. And that should be good enough to get this work done. So we're going to start at what location? And that's right. We're going to start at -5. Now, once again, we are adding. So we are going to go to the right, and there is no opposite symbol here. There's nothing telling me to do anything different. So I'm going to go to the right 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And after counting that off, I'm sitting at 2. So -5 plus 7 equals +2. Little fact, I could write the plus symbol there, but it's completely unnecessary. Nobody's going to require you to write the plus symbol. Negative symbol always has to be written, but the positive symbol does not. Okay, so let's look at this next model. The next model is almost backwards from the previous one. So this time the 5 is our positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to add that to negative 7. And 7 is a negative number, so I'm going to change my counters. And now I'm going to find my pairs. Pair there, pair here, another one here, got a pair down here, and a pair down here. And now that left me with how many counters? 2 counters. What kind of counters? Negative counters. So I've got negative 2 counters. All right. I think I'm getting it. So let's do it on the number line again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so we'll have our positive 5 here. We'll have our negative 5 here. All right, where are we starting at? We're going to start at a positive 5. And I am adding again. So because I am adding, I'm going to go to the right. Oh, but look, I've got this negative symbol. Negative symbol says I do the opposite. So I'm going to go to the left 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts me at negative 2. So you can see we found the same answer both ways. Now, this doesn't look like adding. This looks more like subtracting. And that's exactly what we're doing. With different signs, let me get my text block back. Let's go over here. Different signs, we are going to subtract the absolute value, which is distance from 0. Okay, so that came up with our 2's. We know that if I start with 7 of one thing, 5 of the other, that gave me my 2's. But how did I figure out if it was positive or negative? And maybe I need to smidgen that off so you can see the number better. When I had the negative 5 and the positive 7, it was a positive 2. When I had a positive 5 and a negative 7, it was a negative 2. So it looks a lot like that 7. And that's going to be our rule. Can I not? Oh, wow, it's going to make me type a new box. That's fine. We are going to keep the sign of the larger absolute value. Okay. So what that means is the negative 7 had a higher absolute value than the 5, so we kept it with the negative. All right. Another way to look at this is you can actually take lengths of your number line and stack them on top of each other, and it works out. We might do that in a bonus video if you guys leave a lot of comments saying you're confused about this. The concept of this is very important. Understanding how to add and subtract integers is critical to you building other skills that will come into play when we learn other stuff. Remember, the 7th grade is not going to be a eye-opening, awe-inspiring math experience. This is all about setting a foundation for things that are going to be amazing later. That being said, I think we've covered adding integers with both the same sign and different signs. Remember, same signs, add the absolute value, keep the sign. Different signs, we're going to subtract the absolute value and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, shoot me an email, hit me on Remind, talk to me in the classroom, whatever the case may be. But don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, do the ding thing, and then go to the comments and do that other thing. Good talking with you.